Hey everybody, this is Galen. Welcome to Galen's World, BG. And this is episode 11. Today's episode is called Mr. Jude in the Backyard. And we're not on the Greenway today. It's such a beautiful day, I just wanted to kind of take my time and not having to be looking around so much on the Greenway. Because when you're on the Greenway, you got to be careful, especially with Mr. Jude. Because, you know, if he sees another dog or a bicyclist or a runner, he's going to lunge at him. Even though he's on a harness and a leash, you know, still it's I got to be careful and really keep him steady and just hold on to him. So, yeah, hope you're doing good where you're at in the world. We're doing great here in Bowling Green. Today the temperature is 46 degrees currently and going to get up to a high of 64. And it's going to be sunny all day long, and that's what we love here in Bowling Green, South Central Kentucky. So, yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. As you can see, the trees are still green and Bowling Green. Say hello to Mr. Jude. Hello, Mr. Jude. How you doing, fella? You doing okay? Yep, he's doing good. He's scratching his back on the bush like he always does. He loves to do that. He's gonna walk over here and check something out. So, yeah. Today I wanted to tell you a story about 1988. I was 26 years old, living here in Bowling Green with my wife and my son. Let's see, he was probably about a year old at the time. We had not have been in town very long, probably for almost a year. Yeah, I'd say maybe a little over a year. But anyway, I was working for an insurance company called Commonwealth Life Insurance, and I was a debit agent, or debit route they call it, and I've been with them for let's see, probably about 8 months. And at that time it was, you had to go off to school to Louisville, where the headquarters was located. Commonwealth Insurance, owned by Capital Holding, and they had built a big building downtown. It's got the big dome on it. Probably a lot of you know about it if you've been to Louisville. It used to be the, I think, the Capital Holdings building maybe, and I don't know what they call it now, but yeah. So we only had one car in the family, and my wife had a job, and she needed a car. So I had to go to school, and I had to get my own transportation up there. So I took the Greyhound bus. That's when we used to have the Greyhound bus station here in town, downtown, next to the Daily News newspaper. So that's where I caught the bus and rode up there. I guess it might have been on a Monday morning or Monday afternoon, something like that. Might have been on Sunday. But again, I was 26 years old, newly in town, poor, not very, didn't have much money, and we were living in an apartment and struggling like a lot of young couples. So I get up there, and they put us up in the Brown Hotel, which is a beautiful hotel downtown, built in the 1920s. And matter of fact, I watched a documentary on it this morning on YouTube. That's what made me think about this story. And then also I put a video of Ronald Reagan on my Facebook page when he spoke at Western Kentucky University here in town. But I'll get to that part. So, yeah, I spent a week up there at school at the Brown Hotel with Commonwealth Insurance. They had their meetings in their, I think their building. But, you know, where you just learn about selling life insurance, all the ins and outs of it. So I had a good experience. They treated us really good. Took us to Del Frisco's Steakhouse, and we had some really nice dinners. You know how these companies will treat you. Back then they did really well. I don't know how they do now. I think some of the companies serve people pizza, you know, at meetings in little small hotel rooms downstairs in the lobbies, off the lobbies. I know the corporation I worked for, my last round, they kind of did that quite a bit. And I've heard some other stories about other companies do that too. But yeah, it was a good experience. But anyway, my roommate gave me a ride to the Greyhound bus station when it was time to leave, and got back to Bowling Green, and man, the town was crowded. So many people in town, and I don't know if I remember or not, Ronald Reagan was coming to town to speak at Western Kentucky University at the Diddle Arena. And back then, you know, they hadn't remodeled it the way it is now. It used to seat more, but now it seats less since they've got sky boxes and everything for basketball. Ticket holders, season holders, or people that donate a lot of money can get the sky boxes. A lot of companies in town do that, corporations. But yeah, the town was so crowded and so much traffic. And my wife Patty was supposed to pick me up at a certain time, and she could barely get there. But I think she finally got to get, you know, got downtown somehow to pick me up. So yeah, that was an exciting time for Bowling Green when Ronald Reagan flew into the area and spoke at the university. And I posted a video on YouTube about it. You can see the speech, and man, the crowd was loud and wild. A lot of young people there, young Republicans, different bands from different high schools, Western Kentucky University band, some dignitaries, former Governor Louis Nunn. I think Mitch McConnell was supposed to be there, Senator Mitch McConnell, but he couldn't make it. He was still in Washington, D.C., Reagan said. And Glenn Campbell was there, I think, the singer. So, and then, of course, that's when Western Kentucky University still had President Meredith, Tom Meredith, and he was up on stage with Reagan. So check it out on my Facebook page. If you're not friends with me, be sure to go ahead and follow me, or request my friendship on Facebook. And I wanted to give you some stats when Reagan was president about home ownership. He talked about that in the speech, I noticed, about the future of America and, you know, business and home ownership. And because when he took office, got some stats written down here, the median home price, let's see, well, the median, let's see, the interest rates in 1980-81 when he took office was 18 to 20%. And then in 1988, when he spoke at Western 8 years later, it was 9%. So he was able to get it cut in half, or, you know, help get the economy going a lot better than it was. And the median home price in 1988 was $50,000 to $60,000. And then nowadays, the home price in Kentucky is $275,000 with the interest rate of 6.5%. So it inched up quite a bit since 2016 when I refinanced my home. So I was able to get a fairly decent interest rate, 3.375. So yeah, and I still got it. But yeah, things have gotten better through the years, and then it fluctuates, you know. And by no means, this is not meant to be a political video today. It's just commentary about my little story about going to Louisville, staying at the Brown Hotel, and what a good time I had, and had a hot brown, of course, what it's famous for. It's an open face turkey and cheese dish with some Mayonnaise sauce, they call it. Really good. And it's just a beautiful hotel. If you ever get a chance to go visit, stay there. I highly recommend it. Down on Broadway and 4th Street, downtown Louisville. And then, of course, that watching that YouTube video on the Brown Hotel made me think about, you know, Ronald Reagan coming to town when I got back to Bowling Green. All right. Well, this is Galen with Galen's World BG YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in today. And I hope you're doing well today, wherever you're at in the world, again. And remember, keep your chin up, stay positive, stay safe, and keep working hard. Talk to you later. Goodbye.